Buhari Blackmailing Nigerian Media, probe NBC Now. HURIWA Cries out. A non-governmental organization, the Human Rights Writers Association of Nigeria, HURIWA, has accused the current Director General of National Broadcasting Commission, NBC, Alhaji Ishaq Modibo Kawu, of being a religious and fanatical enforcer of pro-Buhari sentiments in public and private broadcasting. HURIWA, in a statement signed by the National Coordinator Comrade Emmanuel Onwubiko and the Media Affairs Director Ms. Zainab Yusuf, lamented that the allegation that the Minister of Information Lai Mohammed wrote to the National Broadcasting Commission over a year ago to raise him a loan to travel to China has not been sufficiently investigated. The group in the statement said, it was imperative that the head of that government agency is compelled to operate within the principle of rule of law and adherence to the constitutional provisions, just as it restated that compelling him to respect Section 22 of the Constitution would serve to achieve the betterment of Nigerians' collective yearning for the expansion of the frontiers of media freedoms. The rights group further alleged that Channels TV and was fined $5 million in the month of July 2018 and other media houses for refusing to be the propaganda machine of the government against National Assembly and Senator Bukola Saraki. It, therefore, called on the National Assembly to investigate the claims of nepotism, favoritism and religious sentiments in the exercise of functions and duties of the Office of the Director General by the holder of that office currently in NBC. The statement added, on good authority, we have been told of the unprecedented impunity and reign of nepotism, ethno-religious chauvinism that go on inside the inner recesses of the Office of the Director General. We were informed of how he has allegedly used his office to stand in the way of the promotions of officers who are not Hausa Fulani Muslims. There is an urgent need for the National Assembly to focus her attention on the NBC with the hope of compelling the head of that institution not to view his office as that of the enforcer of the APC Code of Broadcasting but as a non-partisan office holder. The NBC-ACT should be amended to bring it into consonance with global best practices and ensure that the holder of the office of DG must be a person of good standing and a patriot who must carry out his official functions without prejudice to the ethno-religious interests of the staff and management of that agency and must show demonstrable evidence of total non-partisanship. We have been informed that Channels TV was fined $5 million in the month of July 2018 for refusing to be the propaganda machine of the government against National Assembly and Senator Bukola Saraki. Quote, we have also been informed that Kiss FM in Lagos is dying in silence. Cool FM is complaining. City FM along Ogburukeja Road in Lagos is about to die due to overfine. A radio station in Ibadan was fined $500,000 because a jingle critical of Fulani herdsmen was aired therein. Star FM in Ogun State is currently in dilemma. Sweet FM in the Gateway State is battling to retain its license. Wazobia FM must declare all guests to feature in their programs to NBC face fine. The frequency of Rhythm FM has been suspended 5 times in 2018 for refusing to stop inviting some public analysts critical of President Buhari. HURIWA recalled that Ekiti TV and radio are under lock and key because the state governor, Ayo exposed how results were altered and rigged during the July 14 governorship elections in the state against the wishes of the people. As usual, some, due to party sentiment, clapped when Ekiti TV and radio were shut. Hope someone is getting something Nigeria, Mr. Benga Araliba of Fucus Nigeria 8 was reportedly suspended from his program because of pressure from NBC even as Ray Power political platform was fined 500,000 naira for running live commentary on National Assembly imbroglio i.e. on the day of mass defection at the Senate. The exercise of these dictatorial tendencies by the DG who is running a one-man show in NBC contravene the powers and functions enshrined in the NBC-ACT, which ought to be seen as enabling provisions that should rather promote media freedoms rather than stifling media freedoms. The powers of the Commission are as follows. 1. The Commission shall have responsibility of a. Advising the federal government generally on the implementation of the national mass communication policy with particular reference to broadcasting. B. Receiving, processing and considering applications for the establishment, ownership, or operation of radio and television stations including a. Cable television services, direct satellite broadcast and any other medium of broadcasting. E. Radio and television stations owned, established or operated by the federal, state or local government. C. Recommending applications through the Minister to the President, for the grant of radio and television licenses. D. Regulating and controlling the broadcasting industry. E. Undertaking research and development in the broadcasting industry. F. Receiving, considering and investigating complaints from individuals and bodies corporate or incorporate regarding the contents of a broadcast and the conduct of a broadcasting station. G. Upholding the principles of equity and fairness in broadcasting. H. Establishing and disseminating a national broadcasting code and setting standards with regard to the contents and quality of materials for broadcast. I. Promoting Nigerian indigenous cultures, moral and community life through broadcasting. J. Promoting authenticated radio and television audience measurements and penetration. K. Initiating and harmonizing government policies on trans-border direct transmission and reception in Nigeria. L. Regulating ethical standards and technical excellence in public, private and commercial broadcast stations in Nigeria. M. Monitoring broadcasting for harmful emission, interference and illegal broadcasting. N. Determining and applying sanctions including revocation of licenses of defaulting stations which do not operate in accordance with the broadcast code and in the public interest. O. Approving the transmitter power, the location of stations, areas of coverage as well as regulate types of broadcast equipment to be used. P. Ensuring qualitative manpower development in the broadcasting industry by accrediting curricula and programs for all tertiary training institutions that offer mass communication in relation to broadcasting. Q. Intervening and arbitrating in conflicts in the broadcasting industry. R. Ensuring strict adherence to the national laws, rules and regulations relating to the participation of foreign capital in relation to local capital in broadcasting. S. Serving as national consultants on any legislative or regulatory issues on the broadcasting industry. 1999. No. 55. T. Guaranteeing and ensuring the liberty and protection of the broadcasting industry with due respect to the law, and U. Carrying out such other activities as are necessary or expedient for the full discharge of all or any of the functions conferred on it under or pursuant to this Act. HURIWA added that the aforementioned allegations have not permitted the Director General to convert his office to the one-sided job of a chief enforcer of the ideology and agenda of the party that produced the President. Think your friend would be interested. Share this story using any of the share button below. Down arrow, place your text advert below. Greater than 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 loading. Share your story with us via email, info@247nigerianewsupdate.co. Received news via our WhatsApp. Kindly text 234,701 056 to add you. Click here to join us on our YouTube channel for news update. Click here to join us on Twitter for instant news update at 247NGNEWSUPDATE. Click here to join millions around the globe to read news on our Facebook fan page for instant updates on Instagram. Click here receive instant news update via our BBM broadcast D3DEFDF.